Everyone, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Buzz. Hope you're having a beautiful week that's filled with smiles. I'm curious if you've heard of the recent controversy with Scarlett Johansson versus ChatGPT. So basically, Cliff Notes version, if you haven't heard the story already, Sam Altman from ChatGPT reached out to Scarlett and her agent and representatives, think about a year and a half ago, and was basically requesting seeing interest if the actress was available to use they could use her voice for OpenAI's Sky voice. And we all know about ChatGPT and AI and how this is really impacting all areas in everyone's life around the globe. Super exciting. Scarlett thought about it for a while and declined the offer. Now, who knows, regardless of the monetary amount she was offered, she declined after deliberation. Well, recently, about a week and a half ago, there was the ChatGPT 4.0 demo, and immediately upon demoing the voice, a number of people started texting Scarlett Johansson, wow, this is so weird. ChatGPT totally sounds like your voice. And so, which is also interesting because the actress's voice was used for a Spike Jonze movie about 10 years ago called Her, which was all about AI and voice and super beautiful movie. Anyway, so the whole point is obviously a controversy with the voice usage on ChatGPT. They have since pulled Sky, the voice from ChatGPT and OpenAI. You can't hear it. It's a different voice. According to Sam Altman and the OpenAI team, it's not Scarlett Johansson's voice. They hired 5 other actresses, and between mixing them together and combining this and that, that's the voice. So my question is, reading about this and watching all these videos about this whole controversy, I kind of think it was on purpose by OpenAI. Right? These are some of the smartest people in the world. Literally, just brilliant people with unlimited resources right now to work on OpenAI and AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. Are you telling me they're all sitting around the room testing Sky and no one says, it totally sounds like Scarlett's voice? Clearly it does. Now, I think like 2 days before they released Sky, they again reached out to her agent and they declined again, and they decided to use the voice. So it got me thinking, it wasn't by accident. So if it's not by accident, it was probably on purpose. And they're probably thinking, listen, let's use Scarlett's voice and just pay whatever fine they got to pay, which is insanity, but they're backed by Microsoft. They have billions of dollars just to get even more buzz and pop around ChatGPT. Who knows? It wasn't by accident, right? You listen to the voice is still out there. You could just YouTube this and hear the voice that Sky was using. It clearly sounds super eerily similar to the voice of Scarlett Johansson. So it got me thinking, wow, that was probably by on intention, and they'll either work out a deal or pay her compensation, whatever it may be. But it was probably intentional to get more exposure, to kind of, leverage Scarlett's persona for brand recognition and all this additional press and podcasts and mentions around the Sky voice. Could be, I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not in the room with those discussions. But it also got me thinking about, for dental office marketing, some of you right now are playing around with AI video content creation. We're doing this for a number of clients. And so far, haven't done much cloning of voices. There have been a couple of clients, dentists, who's like, yeah, sure, clone my voice, I don't care. And we get a special release form signed. We'll clone the voice using 11 Labs or some other voice cloning services and doing that. So this is a whole new ball game. So my recommendations is, when you start implementing AI in terms of the marketing, right? We're not going to talk about clinical or practice, systems and all that with AI, and that's a whole different ball game. Very exciting. But for the marketing, let's say you get a beautiful video testimonial from a patient talking about veneers at your practice. Well, you could, but you don't want to, clone that voice or repurpose that voice in all these other ways and formats. You got to be very careful about this. So I would recommend on any new patient release forms that you get signed, make sure to have everything current and up to date in terms of how you're going to use this, where you're going to use this, Are you allowed to repurpose the content, right? So if a patient is kind enough to give you a 2-minute testimonial on their amazing experience at your practice about veneers or implants or Invisalign, whatever it is, can you then chop that up into micro content pieces, so like a 15-second clip for Instagram? Could you then maybe repurpose that and duplicate that or clone that for additional testimonials? I'm not saying you should, but down the road, maybe that is an initiative that some practices do. Well, if you decide to do that, you obviously have to get the usage rights and permission of that patient. So this is a whole new area for everyone. Just be very careful about when you're starting to leverage these incredible AI platforms and create content for your practice. Don't just think about today's impact and how you're going to use it, but also down the road where it might be going. And I really recommend, like always, just get patient release form signed on all your content, right? Video testimonials, picture of the day images, and also any team members, right? You might have team members. This is happening right now with a client where actually an associate dentist is leaving the practice and going somewhere else. Well, the associate dentist, she's a big part of their current website and marketing initiatives. She's engrossed in all the videos, literally. And she really appeals to a specific target demographic, which is great. So they had to retroactively go back and get a release form signed so they could use that moving forward, which is totally cool. Ideally, you'd want that release form signed before anyone starts at your practice. Team members, associate dentists. So if a picture or a video is taken, regardless of how long they're there, if you want to, you can use that moving forward. Now, this is not about AI cloning their image. This is just to use their rights in your video, because you don't want to have to remove a video that's been on YouTube for 8 years and capturing a lot of SEO content, juice for you, and really working for you. It's already embedded on your website. The last thing you want to do is start deleting this content and re-uploading fresh content just because a team member or another dentist is in there that you're not sure if you could use. So always get release form signed, whether it's patients or team members, so you could use their name and image and voice and all this. And then maybe get, this is obviously for you to figure out with your team, but if you do start exploring AI platforms on your own, think about those implications and say, maybe you want to add a paragraph to your release form saying, if and when we decide to start using AI content, we could use your voice maybe for, another video on our website or social media content, however that looks. So that way you're not kind of stuck with just maybe using a 2-minute video and then one and done. It would be nice if you did have at least the ability to repurpose that content in any and all ways moving forward. And if that's the case, then you have a lot more content in your library to pull from, whether it's secondary pages or social media, voiceover files, whatever it may be. So just stay ahead of this. Make sure you're aware of the power of the AI platforms and also the repercussions, not only using them now, but down the road of where this is going.
What is Dental Year? Dental Year is the leading marketing app in dentistry. Created by marketers, this resourceful platform helps your dental practice in a variety of ways. Content inspiration, real-time marketing ideas, tips on ROI with your current methods, fresh resources, and lots more.
Let's go back into your main call to action button on your homepage of your website. So the main call to action button at the top of the website, your dental website, is going to make or break your conversions. So your call to action really needs to be thought through. What is it? Do you want to encourage people to make an appointment, call the office, book online, view your smile gallery? And this is not about us. This is not about the practice. This is about the patient, the visitor on your website. So this is not the button I'm talking about. This is not in the header section. This is not in the top header where the bar is. This is on the main header section on your homepage, usually where you'll have like a video or rotating images. Now that call to action, we recommend, now if you have a header video to start with, which is great, we highly recommend always rotating in from a video into images. You just don't want to rest on the video, rotating into images. And just so you know, if a video plays for 8 seconds, let's say, in the header section, and if you rotate into, let's say, 5 images after that video, each image will stay for 8 seconds. So usually by default, the time for each image that stays before rotating to the next one is how long the video is. but you just don't want to have the video alone. Highly recommend rotating into images after, as long as you have the right conversion rate optimization images. Those are key. So some of you will have one call to action. That's kind of what you're betting the farm on. Some of you might, if you have a video and 5 images, you might have 6 different call to action buttons, and each button correlates to the image. So maybe on one of those header sliding images, you have a patient holding Invisalign, smiling, looking at you, right? Well, maybe that call to action is, start my Invisalign process, and you click on that and it goes to the Invisalign page, okay? So the most important one, though, is the first call to action we see on your website. It's not about us, right? It's not asking them to do something for the office's benefit. It's all about for the patient, and usually that first button is request my appointment or book my appointment. And using the word my is very powerful. There's a great book out there called Building a Story Brand, and using phrases with the word my, because this wording is then directed towards the website visitor. When they read it, they'll say, book my appointment. You'll have a higher CRO, a higher conversion rate optimization on those call to action buttons where the phrasing is for the visitor. All right? So really important on your call to action buttons. And we're just a few weeks away for our in-person event in beautiful Westlake Village, California. If you're in the area, it's going to be on Friday, June 7th at DSM Solutions headquarters. Dr. Stephen Greenman and Nicole Greenman will be speaking on implementing dental sleep apnea in your practice. That'll be fantastic. And I'll be doing a lunch and learn on dental sleep apnea marketing, in terms of names, landing pages, video, website, how to run ads, all that type of fun stuff during the lunch and learn. So if you're interested in attending, visit dentalsleepapneatraining.com to learn more. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Buzz. If you follow some of the recommendations I've been mentioning in the show, you'll without question be a wizard of buzz.